Okay. Can I have your videos on, please? All of you, quickly. Turn on your videos. Johanna and Zoe. Okay. Questions we were doing. And we're left with the 8th and the 10th question. Question 8 and question 10. Question 8. Difference between bones and cartilages. Can anybody tell me what's the difference or what's the main difference between bones and cartilages? Bones and a cartilage?
Bones are more strong, while cartilages are more flexible.
Yes, that's right. Bones are more strong, more hard, whereas cartilages are more flexible. That is true. Okay, bones are more rigid, means they are fixed. Whereas cartilages are also strong, but they are also flexible. They can be bent, they can be moved. They are not that much rigid. That's the difference between bones and cartilages. We can also give the difference. Bones are found in our arms and our legs, whereas cartilages are found in places such as our ear and the nose. Okay, you can also give that point as difference. Examples. Okay, B1, Zoe. In which parts ball and socket joint is found?
Shoulder?
Yes, shoulder. That's right. Okay, shoulder. And also near the pelvic girdle. Okay, that's the hip part. Okay, the shoulder and near the pelvic girdle. That's where the ball and socket joints are found. How does our body protect the heart and lungs?
The rib cage protects it.
Yes, it is surrounded by the rib cage. Okay, rib cage is a structure of bones that surrounds the heart and the lungs and protects it. That is right, Johanna. What is immovable joint and where is it found, Zoe?
The jaw, the upper jaw.
The jaw, upper jaw, yes, and skull also. And what is immovable joint?
A joint which we can't move.
Yes. The joint that cannot be moved, it is fixed, is the immovable joint found in the upper jaw and skull. That's right, Johanna. Imagine the impact or losses without bones in our body. If our body didn't had bones, what would be the effect of it? Anybody? If our body didn't have bones, what would be its effect on our body?
Be able to stand and do all the activities we do.
Yes, we would not be able to stand or do the activities that we do. That is, it gives shape and structure to our body. If we didn't have bones, then it would just collapse. Our muscles would just fold and collapse. Okay, it would just fold, just compress. But because we have a bone inside and the muscles are attached with the bones, it helps in maintaining structure, helps in maintaining the shape and structure of our body. Okay, good. 10th question. What would happen if vertebral column would be a long single bone? If vertebral column, we know that vertebral column is divided into four parts. Okay, vertebral column is divided into four columns. We know this. What if it was only one single bone? What would have been the effect if that was one single bone? Anyone?
Is it in the neck place, the vertebral column?
The vertebral column has four parts: the neck, okay, then the upper back, then the lower back, and then beneath the lower back, the tailbone. Okay. Vertebral column is the spine, but it is divided into four parts. Okay. It is the spine, but divided into four parts. The four colors that you can see. Okay. One is the neck, the pink one. Then you have the upper back. Okay. Yellow. 12 vertebrae, 12 vertebral columns are there, 12 vertebrae. Then in the lower back, light purple color you can see, 5 vertebrae are there. And then at the end, the orange color thing you can see, that is your tailbone. Okay, that is the tailbone. 4 vertebrae is present in the tailbone. So it's divided into four parts. Okay, our backbone is divided into four parts. If it was not divided into these parts, but not columns, but it was just one straight bone, what would you think would happen to us? What would be the impact of it being one single bone?
We can't bend it.
Yes, yes, that's right. You cannot move your neck. You cannot bend your neck. You cannot bend your back. Okay. You cannot bend the waist. Like when we bend down, na, when we are like bent down, we're not able to bend down. But we'll just be able to stand straight. Okay. Not even sit. You wouldn't be able to sit also. We'd just be able to stand in one position. Stand with one long bone. Okay. So that is why it has four parts. It's divided into four parts. What would happen if we did not have joints in our body? What would be the impact of not having joints in our body? Anyone? What would happen if we didn't have joints in our
We won't be able to bend.
body? We won't be able to bend our limbs. Yes. Okay, we bend our elbow, we bend our fingers to pick something, grab something, hold something. We won't be able to do that if we didn't have joints. We move our hands, we move our legs, we fold our knees. Okay, we wouldn't be able to do any of that if we didn't have joints. Just give me a second. Yes. What would happen if the cartilage of ear was replaced by bones? Cartilage of ear was replaced by uh, by an actual bone. Yes, Johanna is old. If the cartilage was replaced by a bone, what would happen? Our ear will become hard. Yeah. Our ear will become very hard. And if we lie down like this, it will feel hard for us. If we lie down on our side, if we lie down on our side, it will feel very hard. And we wouldn't be able to do that easily. It will feel very hard. That would happen. Yes. Okay. So cartilage of ear, if it was bone, it would feel very strong and hard and rigid. Okay. Okay. Now, in this lesson, till now, we have covered about plants and animals, diversity in plants, diversity in animals. What are the various types of um parts of the plants? Okay. Parts of the flower, then movement in the human body, with what movement in the human body takes place, bones and cartilage, joints and ligaments. Okay, that's all we've covered in the lesson till now. Skeletal system of other animals too. Let's move on to the index and see what next chapter can we start. I'm going to start the 11th chapter with you, nutrition in living organisms. Okay, nutrition in living beings and organisms. Okay, as a lesson that we will start. Nutrition. You know what's the meaning of nutrition? Nutrition is the food that we eat and the energy that we get from it. Okay, the food that we eat and the energy that we obtain from the food, which helps us to gain strength, which helps us to grow. Okay, all of that is called nutrition. Hi, Hanu. Good afternoon. So Sheila and Ram were playing outside their home. Their mother called them for having food. Children were busy playing. They didn't want to leave the game. So she asked her mother, Ma, why do we need to eat food and what is its need? Why can't we always play? Mother laughed at her words and said, do you feel hungry? If yes, then eating food is the solution to stop hunger. Let us eat food and I will tell you about nutrition. Okay. So mother is telling that let's eat food and I'll tell you about nutrition. Nutrition means eating healthy foods is very necessary. Both animals and plants take nutrition in form of in one form or another. What is the difference between plants and animals? What are the types of nourishment? What do you mean by digestion process? In this chapter, we will talk about all of it. Okay. Now, like I told you, that from eating food, we get nutrition. Okay. Nutrition means all those vitamins, minerals, energy that is necessary for our body to function. Okay. That is necessary for our body to work. Nourishment items are essential for the physical structure, growth, health, and maintenance of non-working or weak parts of living beings. Living beings get the energy required for the essential movement from food. Imagine if we do not eat for days. For days, we are not eating. What would happen? We won't have the strength to stand up. We won't have the strength to walk. We wouldn't have the strength to do our daily activities, to play, to go out, to do jogging, okay, or to study. We wouldn't have the strength to do that. Why? Because food provides nutrition. Food gives us the energy to function, to do our daily activities, to stay healthy, to stay fit. Okay. Now, nourishment. When I say the word nourishment, is the method through which the organisms obtain nutrition. Okay. When I say the word nourishment, it means that method which organisms use to get nutrition. Okay. To get nutrition. This nourishment, once, yes. Now, nourishment is of two types, means there are two types in which the organisms they obtain nourishment or they obtain nutrition. Number one is called autotrophic mode of nutrition. Number two is called heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Autotrophic mode of nutrition is the mode where the organisms prepare their own food. They make their own food. Okay. Plants they prepare their food with the help of water, carbon dioxide, and minerals. And these plants are called autotrophic. Okay, you know that some plants prepare their own food, but do you know that not every plant can prepare their own food? Not every plant can prepare their own food. Only some plants can prepare their own food. Then what will the other plants do? How do the other plants get nutrition? The other plants get nutrition from their nearby plant. Okay. Say if I am a plant who is not able to prepare my own food, I will share the food of the plant that is near me. Okay. I'll share the food of the plant that is near me. This depending on somebody else for food, like not preparing your own food, but depending on somebody else for food is called heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay. Animals and other living beings make their food with the help of food synthesized by plants. Okay. Food that is synthesized by plants means prepared by plants. This is known as heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, let's show you some images of autotrophic and heterotrophic. Hi Hannah, can you hear me now?
Oh, good morning, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Hannah. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. There was a network issue. We don't have proper network here. So that's why I could not
Mm-hmm.
join.
Okay, it's okay, Hannah. That's fine. You can. I'll put this link in the group. So after the class, you can go to YouTube and access the previous portion of this lecture, okay? Whatever that you've missed, okay? This is autotrophic mode of nutrition. You can see that there is a plant, okay? There is energy, there is sunlight, carbon dioxide, and oxygen, and it has prepared its own food using this, okay? Using chlorophyll, energy, carbon dioxide, it has prepared its own food, okay? This is autotrophic mode of nutrition, where plants prepare their own food. Okay. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition. We have three types. I explain them further in the chapter. Okay. Saprotrophs, parasitic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, saprotrophs. Okay. What is saprotrophic nutrition? Where the organisms get stuck on the body of dead and decaying remains of other plants and eat food. You know this, that fungi, okay, and yeast, they all after an animal dies, it fungi starts to grow on its body, right? And fungi breaks it down into smaller parts and helps in decomposing, that you know. So these organisms such as yeast and fungi, they get nutrition from living on dead plants and dead and decaying animal bodies. Parasitic nutrition is the nutrition where uh, living organisms feed on the body of another living organism, like lice. Lice, okay? Lice live in our hair and they are sucking the blood and feeding from it, feeding from our scalp. Okay, the lice. Lice is what? Parasite. Okay, a parasite. Parasite is a type of organism that lives in the body or on the body of another living organism and eats from it. Okay, tapeworm also. Okay, tapeworm, lice. They feed on another living organism. Okay, holozoic nutrition you don't have. Ingestion of organic food materials. Okay, holozoic nutrition you do not have. We have parasitic nutrition and saprotrophic nutrition. So heterotrophs are those which do not make their own food but depend on other organisms for food, and autotrophic are those which make their own food. Okay, that is your two main categories of um, nourishment. Okay, modes of nourishment. Process of photosynthesis in plants. Now tell me, I till now I've explained you what is nourishment, what is nutrition, what is nourishment, what are the two modes of nourishment. Any doubt till here? Anything that you want to ask till here? No?
And that in heterotrophic nutrition is there only two types?
Yes. Heterotrophic nutrition mean two or three types we have in this lesson. Let's see. Parasitic you have, You have symbiotic relationship is different, okay? And saprophytes, parasites and saprophyte. Those two types of heterotrophic nutrition you have in the list, okay? Holozoic you don't have, all right? Two types. Now, process of photosynthesis in plants. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants prepare their food. Leaves are the kitchen of the plant. Where do plants prepare food? In the leaves. Okay. Plants prepare food in the leaves. The process of preparing food in the plants it's called photosynthesis. Therefore, all the raw materials are supplied to the leaves. These raw materials are absorbed by water and minerals by the roots of the plants present in the soil. We know that the roots absorb water and minerals. The stem takes it up and transports it to the leaves. Okay. Now, these absorbed water and mineral elements are sent to leaves through stem. There are small holes present in the layer of leaves. These holes help leaves in getting carbon dioxide present in the air. These holes are covered by epidermis cells. Holes are also known as pores because they open and close. They open and close. Leaves are of green color. This green pigment present in the leaves, we call it chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is because this green color pigment is present in leaves, the color of the leaves is green. Okay, the color of the leaves is green. Chlorophyll helps leaves in collecting energy from the sunlight. This energy is used for synthesizing the food, preparing the food. By food synthesis, we mean the use of stored energy, water, and carbon dioxide to prepare food. When the word synthesis comes, what is synthesis? Synthesis means using sunlight, water, and CO2 to prepare food in the plants. That's the meaning of food synthesis in plants. Since this process is done in the presence of sunlight, it is known as photosynthesis. Okay, because this all happens in the presence of sunlight, we call it as photosynthesis. Therefore, in the process of photosynthesis, chlorophyll present in the leaves synthesizes water and carbon dioxide to prepare food. What is the equation? Equation for it. This is the equation CO2 plus water gives in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, CO2 and water in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight gives carbohydrate plus oxygen. O2. This is food, plant food. Okay, this is plant food. Glucose is plant food and oxygen. You know that plants take in CO2 and release oxygen. We've heard this story, right? That plants take in carbon dioxide, release oxygen. Humans take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Okay, plants take in CO2, carbon dioxide, release oxygen. How come this happens? Because for preparing their own food, plants need carbon dioxide. Okay, to prepare their food, plants need carbon dioxide, so they take in carbon dioxide. And in the process, while preparing their food, when the food is prepared now, that time oxygen is released. When the food is prepared, that time oxygen is released by the plants. That is why plants take in carbon dioxide while preparing food, and then after preparing food, that time they release oxygen. Okay, this process helps in releasing oxygen, and carbohydrates are changed to starch in the process. For the process of synthesis, we need chlorophyll, sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. Leaves collect the sun energy, prepare food. The life of all living beings is directly on or indirectly dependent on the stored food. Why? Because we need plants to, like, we eat plants, you know this, right? We need plants for food. Okay, food. We need plants for food. We eat their fruit, we eat their roots, we eat their leaves, coriander, and all of this spinach and all this. We eat their leaves. Okay. We eat the flowers such as cauliflower. We eat the fruits of them. We eat the roots such as radish. and all this, okay? Beetroot, radish, we eat their roots. We eat different parts of a plant. So we need plants, okay? We need plants. Then, sun is the prime source of energy for all the living beings. Oxygen gas is required for every living being is released in the process of photosynthesis. Why do they say to plant more trees? To plant more trees. If pollution is rising, you plant more trees. Why? Because plants make the air fresh and clean by releasing oxygen. Okay. So that is also the reason why if you go to a forest or a grassland or any area which is surrounded by trees and plants, green trees and plants surrounded, the air will feel fresh. If you've ever been there, if you've ever been to a place that is a big garden or a huge forest like place surrounded by green leaves and trees and plants, the air will feel fresh. Why? What is the reason? Because they release oxygen, they keep releasing oxygen. So in that particular area there is a lot of oxygen present, the oxygen content is higher. That is why you feel fresh, you feel fresh air in that area. Okay. Chlorophyll is present in all color of leaves. Chlorophyll is found in all types of leaves like green, red, yellow, brown, etc. These colors cover the chlorophyll, but these leaves are involved in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, we will stop here for today. Now, hope the process of photosynthesis, process of preparing the food, what is the use of chlorophyll, what plants take in and give out. Hope all of this is clear to you. Hope all this is clear. Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes, Johanna.
how can colored leaves, it's green leaves which helps with photosynthesis. So how can colored leaves, help?
Colored leaves, yes. Colored leaves also have photosynthesis. They have chlorophyll. Okay. Now, it's not that only the green color leaves are can make their own food. Okay. Color leaves also have chlorophyll. Okay. They also have chlorophyll and they can make their own food. Okay. But what happens? Why is this reason? Why is this reason? See, in the green leaves, in the green leaves, the chlorophyll content is the highest. Okay. But in the other leaves, say yellow or orange leaves, they have chlorophyll. Say this is 5, okay, plus 5. This has chlorophyll plus 2, but other component known as carotenoids, carotenoid is plus 5. Okay, and this carotenoid is a yellow-orange color pigment, where chlorophyll is green color pigment. So because the yellow-orange color pigment is more in this yellow-orange leaf compared to the chlorophyll, that is why its color is yellow-orange, but it still has chlorophyll. So it can prepare their own food. Okay. About the red and purple, red or purple color leaves, they also have chlorophyll. They also have chlorophyll, let's say 2 point chlorophyll. Okay, but they also have a pigment called anthocyanin. Okay, plus 5. Means this anthocyanin pigment is more, and that is responsible for red and purple color. Okay, but That doesn't mean it does not have chlorophyll. Green color ones have more chlorophyll. The yellow orange have more carotenoid. Red and purple have more anthocyanins. Okay, which is responsible for the different color, but they still have chlorophyll. They still have chlorophyll, so they can still prepare their own food. But the color, because they have different other pigments in more quantity, other pigment in more quantity, their color is different. You have purple color, red color, yellow, orange, okay, because the other pigment is more than chlorophyll. Understood now? Understood. You don't have to remember these names, okay, but this is the reason behind it. This is the reason behind it. Okay. Okay, short break till 12:25 for y'all. Short break till 12:25. Quickly go have water, and then we'll begin with the maths class. Please, let's begin. Hi, Joshua. Good afternoon.
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Johanna, you had some difficulty. Which question? Can you let me know?
The 10.3 exercise, the fifth question, B and C.
10.3. Okay. Fifth question. How many lines can be drawn through a given point on a plane? How many lines can be drawn from two different points on a plane? Okay. I have 2 points. Okay. And I taught you that we will draw a line through it. I will draw a line through it. And I know,
Excuse me.
yes, Hannah,
Ma'am, your whiteboard says that collaboration save handshake failed, ma'am. I can see your screen.
you cannot see my screen. Is it visible to the rest of you, my whiteboard?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The B1 is one line. One line can be drawn through two given points. Okay, Johanna. C1, how many lines can be drawn through the points? How many lines can be drawn through the points? That depends on how many number of points you are having. Okay. If you're having 1 point, any number of lines can be drawn through. Yes, Hannah, you can reach on. Okay. If you have 2 points, one line can be drawn through. If you have 3 points, either one line can be drawn through it, or you know, it cannot be drawn through. Okay. 3 points. Either one line can be drawn through it, or it cannot be drawn through. Okay. So it depends on how many points you have, that how many number of lines can be drawn through. Okay. Next concept. Yes. So next concept, we'll be talking about some shapes. Okay. Now look on the screen. Let's draw something. Okay. I have drawn something. Then I've drawn something more. Okay. Then something more. And then Okay, four things I have drawn. Four shapes and forms. Okay. One is a star, one is a cloud. The third one I don't know what it is, and the fourth one is almost a triangle. Okay. So the ones that has all the edges joined together, they are known as closed shapes. Closed shape. The ones that are open, that look open, are called open shapes or open figures. Okay, they're not joined together, or some of the edges open. Open shapes or open figures. Okay, write this down, make the figures, and then we'll move on.
Done.
Okay, okay. Hannah and Joshua.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. What about
Ma'am,
Hannah? Done?
ma'am, 1 minute.
Yes. Yes, Hannah.
Done, ma'am.
Now look at the figures that I will make now. Right? You can make this. Okay. Now I have made two more figures. Okay. And what we can observe is this, that the parts are cutting each other. The lines are cutting each other. Okay. It's crossing each other. Okay. So those figures, okay, which cut each other, cross each other, are not simple figures, whereas those figures which do not cross or cut each other, they are called simple figures. Okay, I will write it down for you.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, done, Zoe?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, those figures which cut each other, ma'am, can we call them non-simple figures?
The figures that cut each other. Yeah, they are um not called simple figures. Okay, you can just call them complex figures or non-simple figures or maybe complex figures. Okay.
Hmm.
Done, ma'am.
Now, shall I clear it? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now, yeah. Now, suppose this is my plane. Okay. Plane means a surface. In the previous classes, I taught you that a plane is a surface. Now, if I draw a figure inside the plane, this is a figure that I've drawn inside the plane. Did you know this? Okay. It has three parts. Okay. It has three parts. First is inner part of the figure. Okay. If I shade it, whatever purple you can see, this is inner part of the inner part of the figure. Inner part of the figure. Okay, then you have a exterior. This is exterior.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Hannah, now tell me.
Ma'am, can we call the inner part as interior also?
Yes, we can call the inner part as interior. The outer part is exterior. And then you have the figure itself, or you can call it shape. Okay. Each simple closed figure divides the poem into three parts. Number one, interior or inner part of the figure. Number two, exterior or outer part of the figure. Number three, figure itself or the shape.
Done, ma'am.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Shall I clear it now, Johanna? No? Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Done. Okay. Now there are some tools or instruments used in geometry. Okay. Some tools and instruments that are used in geometry. We have set square. Okay. We have divider. We have compass. We have protractor, scale. And those are the instruments that we'll talk about further. Okay. What are they and what is their use? Because when I'll start doing practical geometry with you, you will be needing it. You'll be needing a compass. We'll learn how to use a compass. We'll learn how to use a protractor. Okay, scale, the purpose of scale, you know. The purpose of divider is, not very, doesn't have a really great or useful purpose or a great purpose, no, but it's just a tool, okay? And in our time, we never used it. So you can say the most useless tool is a divider in the geometry works, okay? Because the divider purpose is served by the pencil and compass to measure the line. We can use scale, pencil, and compass. We used to use pencil and compass to measure on the scale, okay? Divider didn't actually do anything for us. It used to just sit in the geometry box and lie there. Okay, so but we'll study all of that. And I think I'm going to teach that to you tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna teach that to you tomorrow. So we'll be meeting tomorrow. And till then, see you. Your homework is exercise 10.5. Okay. Exercise 10.5 is your homework. Please do 10.5. Please do all of the rest of the homework that's remaining. Joshua, I need the homework. Okay. Zoe, you too. Please send me. Okay. Okay. Have a good day. See you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Bye, Hannah. Bye, Joanna. Bye, Zoe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.